Great. I'm gonna, just to let everyone know that the meeting is going to be recorded. So if you're not super comfortable with that, you can turn your camera off and then no one can see you. But that's the plan so that we can share the information with people who weren't able to join today. All right. I'm going to let everybody, we're going to give it a few minutes to let everybody join because there's always a little bit of a delay. So thank you all for joining us. This webinar workshop was put together really quite quickly in response to what we were all seeing with the sudden launch of the app from the government for people to go to public places, really. It was been created in partnership with the Engage Lab at Concordia. And I have a guest from there who's going to say hello in a minute, as well as CHSSN, the Community Health and Social Services Network, who work across the province on health and social services for people who are English speaking. I'm going to put a couple of links in the chat, and I'm also going to send you a follow-up email. The most important one, for those of you who don't have this information yet, this is a phone number that you can phone and ask that the government send you a QR code that would be accepted in public places. So if you are really struggling, you can't download the app, you don't seem to be able to print it, you can't find it for whatever reason, you're really having a difficult time, this phone number that I'm about to put in the chat, you can phone them and they will send you one in the mail. Apparently there is a delay of a couple of weeks is what we heard. So I think that comes from the government overestimating people's comfort with cell phones and technology and them sort of being caught off guard with, hey, not everybody can do this right away all of a sudden because you've decided. But nonetheless, people are getting them. So hopefully, you know, if you're really having a difficult time, you can contact the government and get it for QR code vaccination by the post. So I'm going to give it another minute. We're almost there. And then I'm going to start introducing you to our fantastic guests. First of all, I want to know if we have anyone here who's not from the island of Montreal. Wave. Okay, our presenter.
Me?
Oh, there we go. Mary's not from the island. Oh, there's another one. Kayla. So thank you for everyone who's joining from the greater province or even farther. And thank you to those who are joining who are not seniors. We actually had people contact us who are a little bit younger than what we would consider seniors, who are also struggling with the app. So those of you who feel like this is just because you're a little bit older, I struggled with the app. I know that Katya, who I work with, had a bit of a time. This is not exclusive by age. This app is not a super easy thing to navigate. So don't feel a little bit, you have every right to be here and learn more about it. So I'm going to introduce you to Tristana, who's joining us from Engage at Concordia. She helped us put this together. And I asked her to just say a little bit more about who Engage are and what they do, because they have some really interesting webinars and things you might be interested in. Tristana?
Thank you so much, Vanessa, and thank you so much for everyone for being here, for your presence today. My name is Tristana Martin Rubio, and I am the coordinator at Engage, the Concordia University Center for Research on Aging. We are a relatively new center. We came into existence in 2017, so this is our fifth year, the start of our fifth year. We do research. We have a research mandate, and the research that we do at the center is really interdisciplinary in nature. So we do interdisciplinary research on aging, which is to say that we look at age and aging and later life from a multitude of different perspectives. We have faculty members from across all the disciplines, from biology to political science to communication studies, to philosophy. The second thing that we do is research that is quite collaborative in nature, which is to say that we work within the community, work with community groups, we work with older adults and other stakeholders, industry partners, and that sort of thing, to try to do research that and to provide analysis of the phenomenon of age in light of its challenges, its opportunities, and as well as to really provide sort of practical strategies to address change within communities. So the center has this broader kind of aspirational goal of really changing quite deeply how we commonly think about age and later life. And so I'm really just so pleased to be able to support an initiative like this, and I hope that it's a benefit to you all. We're always really keen to support workshops that not only sort of advance knowledge in general and participation about digital apps, sort of one of our mandates. We do a lot of work in digital ageism and that sort of thing, but that it's an initiative that is really quite collective in nature. So it's looking at these questions of health and well-being and access and belonging to community, not just as the prerogative of, or just as something that is a private or an individual issue that we deal with on our own, but that's something that is really the responsibility of all, and that we can support each other in this process. So I'm just really delighted to be invited today to this workshop. And of course, if you want to get in touch with me at the center, I can just drop my email address in the chat box, and you can learn more about the kinds of programs and activities and projects that we have going on there. So thanks so much.
Great, thank you so much. Yeah, I encourage you to check out their website. The work that they do is really cool and really important, I think, because there's this idea that, you know, seniors are not that interested in digital literacy, and I don't think that's true at all. So I'm now going to turn the mic over to Erica from Community Health and Social Services Network, our other partner. She'll tell you a little bit about what they do and why or how that can help you as well. Erica.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vanessa. And like Vanessa said, CHSSN was formed really to support the English-speaking community in Quebec. It was formed in the year 2000, and we're really working on redressing health status inequalities and promoting community vitality. We have a network of 25 organizations across the province that are supporting English-speaking Quebecers from all ages. So these organizations run programs for early childhood, youth and mental health, families, and older adults. And one of our newest initiatives is our Senior Wellness Center project. So we've increased our network now to have 30 organizations and 75 senior wellness centers across the province for English-speaking seniors in Quebec. They offer health education, health prevention, health promotion programming. And CHSSN's role is really to bring all of these organizations together for shared learning and shared knowledge translation, and to develop a community of practice so that we can increase the capacity of what they're able to do. So we often have workshops that are open to the public. We have the Community Health Education Program, which if you're connected to one of our organizations, you can be invited to attend as well. And we have these senior wellness centers we have about 10 or 11 in Montreal. So we're going to have a new website very soon. I'll put the link to our current website up, but we don't have any info about the Senior Wellness Center initiative yet because it's still a little bit new, but by the end of this month we will. So you'll be able to find the center closest to you and participate if that's of interest to you.
Thank you so much, Erica. Yeah, I think the senior wellness centers are very cool, and I'm really excited about them, you know, finally having spaces in community centers that will help support seniors and do cool things for seniors. Yeah, I think it's great. So thank you again for joining. I'm going to turn it over and introduce you to our somewhat fantastic presenter, Momo, who I have had the pleasure of chatting with a couple times this week. Yeah, we're very lucky. I kind of can't believe how we lucked out to find her so quickly, and that's to Tristana's credit. But a little bit of her background. Sorry if I'm looking over here. I have another screen, so that's why I'm doing this. She started volunteering in 2005 with various community organizations and hospitals, especially with senior populations. She currently works as the administrative assistant for the Art Hives Network, as well as technical support for the Creative Engaged Living Lab, hosting bi-weekly digital skills sharing sessions to mainly help seniors stay connected with their community through diverse technologies. So this is really her area of expertise, and it has been for a long time. We're very lucky to have her. I'm going to stop talking now and turn it over to Momo. Thank you.
Hello, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Vanessa, Katia, Tristana, and Erica. Nice to meet you. And I already see some regular engagers. Hello, Lorraine. And very pleased to meet you all. So I put together this presentation. All the information that I threw in the presentation comes from the official Quebec website, and there is a link. There are actually 3 links that I use, and they're at the end of the presentation, which I'm gonna share with you shortly. But first, so the vaccine passport, like, what is it? Like, are they gonna send me like a passport? And I presented, and then is it the app? Can I present a paper? So from what I read in the Quebec's official website, yes, you can present a paper. And then it's like, well, which paper do I present? So yes, we can present our passport in different ways. And the passport actually is a tool. It's not like, you know, our traveling passports. So just show of hands, because we can present this, our proof of vaccination in different ways. I just want to know, like, who is here to I haven't been able to get my paper, get my proof of vaccination. And I'm just interested in that part. So just show me how I go through the system to get my proof of vaccination on paper. So show of hands, who is in that case? I don't know. Lorraine? Yeah, okay. And for the people that are have their screens off, you can on Zoom on there is like a reaction button at the bottom to the right. And there is like a smiley face. So if you click on reactions, maybe you can give me a thumbs up if that is your case, or you can raise your hand and say, yes, this is me, this is my case, just if you don't want to turn on your cameras. So Lorraine, she wants to get her proof of vaccination on paper. That's perfect. We all need our proof of vaccination on paper, or we need to download the PDF to our computers. Okay, good. Yeah, you can use the chat as well. So, so we all need it. That's our first step. And then we go to the VaxiCode, this app. And so who is here planning to use their cell phone, installing the app on your cell phone? And this is what you're gonna show. I don't know. So Lorraine also wants to use the cell phone. Okay, and we have a comment from Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer. I do not need my passport. I am concerned that thousands of seniors may be overlooked. Very true. Yes, we're very concerned about that too. And you have it on VaxiCode, perfect. And then Kyla, I'm a coordinator of seniors program. I am joining to relay all info. Okay, perfect. So yeah, this is info that please, yes, this was put together by Seniors Action Quebec. I forget, by Engage, and I moved my presentation. And by CHSN, sorry, I'm getting familiar with the names. But please share the information, and specifically, yes, share my presentation. We're gonna put a link, but very important to share the links that this presentation was taken really following the Quebec sites. But all the screenshots I took myself. So, but please share it. We're not here to withhold any information. We're here to share the information. So now that we know more or less, we're gonna start with the presentation. I'm just gonna share screen. if there are any questions before we start presenting, anybody wants to turn on their mics and share some of their concerns, questions today with us, if you can just turn on your mic and tell us.
Hi.
Hi.
This is Lorraine.
Hi, Lorraine.
I received a passport just after June the 10th when I was vaccinated the second time.
Mhm.
Does that still apply?
Yes. So when you said you receive a passport, did you receive a paper that contains a QR code?
Yeah, I received it in my email for George and myself.
Perfect. Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's still valid. I had him, he printed it out, this kind of big. And with me, I imagine it's somewhere on my phone. I looked for it and it said, I went and clicked, I don't know, this was way back in June. And they said the link has expired.
Yes.
We'll do another one. So I imagine, I guess that's what will happen. But so I guess I'll be able to find the PDF. I'm sure I can. And that one is still valid. In other words, I don't have to get another fancy new one from the government or anything like that.
No. So
Okay.
so that is, thank you, Lorraine, for your question.
Okay.
And that is very pertinent, actually. While I was doing the research for this presentation, I was like, well, I remember I received an email, but who sent me this email? So it's notif at COVID-19 Quebec.ca, something like that. I have it on my notes. And yes, they send you first when we got our second vaccination dose, right away on that same day, I received an email, and to the email that I provided when I made my appointment. So, and they send me a link. So this is where you can download your proof of vaccination. So the proof of vaccination contains, and I'm gonna show it to you, contains your name and some information about both vaccines and a QR code. So you cannot miss it. The proof of vaccination has a QR code. But that link where they send you, so it's a PDF document, you can download it. That link expires. So of course I have downloaded at that time, but this week when I was putting this presentation together, I tried to use the link again, because I was a tester in my past life, so I like to test things. And it's exactly what Lorraine said. So that link, if you did not download right away your proof of vaccination, the one that contains your QR code, right away when they send you the link, or like I guess the link was valid for a few days. I don't believe it was just valid for that day. If you find the email and click on the link, it's gonna say that is invalid. So then you're gonna phone in and you're gonna tell them, well, I need a new link because I forgot, or whatever. You don't have to explain, just I need a new link to download my proof of vaccination, which is a PDF document, and that's the one that contains your QR code. And I'm really emphasizing on this because in some of my papers, I found what I think is like, oh, that might be my proof of vaccination, but it's a paper. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. So, and I'm gonna spotlight myself. Can I spotlight myself? No. So it's just a paper with my name, and it says a vaccination register of Quebec at the top, but it doesn't contain a QR code. You can see it at a glance. It's just letters and numbers. So this, although it says, yes, this is your registration for the vaccine, it doesn't contain a QR code. So this is not your proof of vaccination. Your proof of vaccination needs to have a QR code. So just that's why I'm insisting on the QR code.
Maybe
So,
Momo, you can just show an example of a QR code for people who aren't entirely
yes,
sure.
exactly. So I have that. I'm gonna show the share. So a QR code is what we have here on the side, but I'm gonna go quickly through my presentation and I'm gonna show you. So these are the 3 ways. So I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but we'll go back. So these are the 3 ways that you can present your proof of vaccination. So your proof of vaccination is, and I'm gonna annotate and spotlight. So your proof of vaccination is this little paper that has a QR code. That's your proof of vaccination. So you can show it on paper. You can show the PDF. If you download the PDF on your mobile, you can show the PDF. Basically, the app needs the QR code to be on the screen so they can scan it. Or you can download the VaxiCode and upload your PDF here, so you can show the VaxiCode, you can show the QR code. So this is the QR code. So this is the paper I'm talking about. This is a proof of vaccination. And this is the link that doesn't work for Lorraine. So if you have not downloaded with that link, you need to send them an email and they will send you a new link and then you can download it and there you go. So any other questions or should I just go through the presentation? Okay, so I'm just gonna start presenting, and if there is a question, write it down or write it in the chat, and then Katya or Vanessa can read it. But we're gonna have more conversation at the end. So what is a QR code? We're all talking about QR codes. So this is if you Google QR code, there are many definitions. This is a definition from the Quebec website. A QR code is a 2-dimensional code. So think of a barcode, but the QR code, because it's 2-dimensional, it can store a lot more information than just a barcode. And it has all these little weird dashes and square and dots and even other geometric shapes, and it's just to deliver information. So we use a smartphone, the camera on our smartphones can detect or can read the QR code, so it can reveal the information. A lot of restaurants, if you are going to restaurants now, or even before this vaccination passport, the restaurants, they could not bring us a menu. So they had these little squares QR code printed on each table, and we can read them with our phone. And to read that QR code, it will bring us directly to their menu online. So that's one way that we use QR codes. So what is the COVID-19 vaccine passport? So the COVID-19 vaccine passport is a free official tool, and I have to emphasize it's free because some apps, if we download apps on our phones, some apps are not free. So when you're installing the COVID-19, the VaxiCode or the VaxiCode Verif, it should not ask you for a credit card. Be aware of that. So it's a free official tool showing that the holder is protected against COVID-19. And these are you're gonna see these logos all through my presentation, because I think it's very important that we get familiar with the logo. This is the tool that we're looking for when we are downloading the app on our phones. It's very important that we download the official app. So this was the COVID-19 vaccination passport. Is a tool. What is the electronic proof of vaccination? It's a PDF document that you can download from a computer or mobile device. It contains your personal information, so please keep it to yourself. And the name of the vaccine you receive or your contraindication. So it also says some people are allergic to the vaccines, but that needs to be, it's all on the website. So if you are proven to be allergic to both vaccines, you can also get a QR code. And your QR code, people will know, but it will it will contain all that information why you cannot vaccinate it. You cannot be vaccinated. So all the information is going to be in your electronic proof of vaccination. And it also contains the result of your first positive COVID-19 screening test, if you had one. I never had a positive COVID-19 screening test, so mine does not contain that, and a QR code containing this information. So this is the electronic proof of vaccination. It's a PDF document, and you're going to see a big square with a QR code. Now, what is the vaccination? So where the vaccination passport, wherever a vaccine passport is required, you need to show a QR code. So this paper that I show you that doesn't contain a QR code, even though it says that, yes, I'm vaccinated and the dates and all that, I cannot present that as a proof of vaccination. It needs to contain a QR code. And that gives the reader the protection status as a proof of vaccination against COVID-19. The QR code or the vaccine code is not the only thing that is needed. You also need to bring a valid ID with picture. So your Medicare card, your driver's, I don't drive. So a valid picture ID. That happened to me last weekend, that I went out. Of course, I had my cell phone on me, but I forgot to bring my purse because we were just going for an ice cream, and then we changed idea. We said, oh, let's go to a restaurant. And I didn't have my ID. So just think about carrying always your ID, which is it's a good thing to do. It's just that I forget sometimes. So how can we show the proof of vaccination? We can show it on 3 ways, as we already said. We can show it on paper. The paper needs to have the QR code. We can show it. We can also download the PDF to our mobile, and without installing the tool, I can just pull up the document from my mobile and just show them the QR code. Or I can install the VaxiCode app and show the QR code. So basically, the most important, we need to show this QR code. We're all here, we're all good. I cannot see everybody, but I think yeah, okay. I see lots of thumbs up, thank you. Okay, so what is the VaxiCode app? So this is the app. Once again, please get familiar with the logos. The one that we need is the one that I put in big. Well, unless you're a restaurant owner or you have a business, you might need both. So you might need the blue one. I install both because I'm curious and I like to play with apps. So I install both on my phone. You can install both on your phone. Nothing prevents you. They're both free, but the one that we need is really the big yellow one. And they are free, and you can find them on Apple Store or on Google Play. Depends if you're an iPhone user or an Android user. Okay, Zoom is on my way, so let me just move this a little bit. I'm gonna close this. Sorry, so the VaxiCode allows individuals, so this tool allows individuals to download and read the entire content of the individual QR code present in the proof of vaccination. And so it allows us to download and also to keep it in a digital format and show it to gain entrance where needed. Again, it's available for free on Apple Store and Google Play. The VaxiCode Verif is intended for those running businesses or activities covered by the passport measure to verify the protection status of individuals seeking access. So yes, you're gonna see this one popping when you're looking for VaxiCode. You can install it, it doesn't hurt, but this one doesn't, this is not the one that you're showing. It's, as it says here, is intended for those running businesses. This one, it will scan the QR code that appears on the proof of vaccination to verify whether they are protected against COVID-19. So this is what restaurants are using to scan our QR codes. And actually, when I was reading that as a customer, as a user, there are a lot of questions about, well, if people are going to read my QR code, what information are they going to get? So I'm going to show you exactly what they see. And also the government, in the government side, it says, you have the right to ask in a restaurant which tool they are using to read your code. So because QR codes can be read by many QR code readers. Although I try to read my vaccine QR code with other readers, and really it doesn't do anything. It's kind of like it doesn't recognize it. And when I read it with the Verif, with the VaxiCode Verif, it just shows my name and that I'm protected in green. So it doesn't read even your date of birth. It doesn't read your medical history, because there is a lot of questions of, well, what information am I putting out there? It's really your name and if you're protected or not, in green, or in red if you're not adequately protected. So don't worry, your medical, they're not reading, they don't have access to your medical records. That is one of the questions that I read a lot regarding these, some concerns. So that's why I'm bringing it up. So how do we install the VaxiCode app? Depending on what kind of phone you have, you can install it for free on Google Play or App Store. And these are the icons that we're going to look for in our mobiles. So this is Google Play and this is App Store. I have an Android, so we're going to go this route now. But it should be very similar. But if there is a specific question, I believe Vanessa has an iPhone, so maybe she can help us. We're a community, we all help each other. So first of all, to install it, we have to find the VaxiCode app. And again, this is a reminder, this is the logo that we're looking for. So this is, so we're gonna locate first the Google Play or the App Store in the case. So the Google Play on my phone is here at the bottom. So you're gonna see these arrows and these little hands all through my presentation. When you see this little hand, I want you to click on it. So that's what it means. I stopped putting the word click, but you know what it means. So we're gonna click on it, and then it's gonna open this window. And here it says Google Play. So we're gonna click where it says Google Play, and it's gonna change to search for app. So how do we search for app? We click again there, and then the keyboard appears. And this is where we type first, we type VaxiCode. Once we see VaxiCode here, we click on this little search, it's like a zoom. So once we search, now we're gonna install the app. So this is the list. See how there is a lot. That's why this icon, this logo is so important, because we type VaxiCode, but look at the list that I got on my phone. So I have, it gives me a list of a lot of QR readers. So that's why I want you to really look for this icon. And then when you find it, the VaxiCode, you click on it, and then it brings you to this screen. And here you click install. Then we're gonna wait here while it says installing, we're not doing anything. And then suddenly it's gonna change to open. It means it got installed. So we're gonna click on open. And now we're gonna set up the app. So these are all the permissions that are required. I don't know if the screens are a little bit small on your side. On my side are big, but don't worry, we're gonna send you also a link to this document so you can see it. Basically, we're just gonna, it says, welcome to VaxiCode. The app lets you register your proof of COVID-19 vaccination. It has the Quebec logo always. So we're gonna click next. then is asking us that it needs our permission to use our camera. And yes, we're gonna allow permission because we need our phone to read the QR code with our camera. So it's very important that we allow this app to use our camera. It's gonna, although I said allow, it's gonna ask me again, allow Vaccico to take pictures and record video. Yes, I'm gonna allow it. I don't know, maybe the record video is standard, but yes, I need to allow it to use my camera. And then finally, automatic updates. So this tool or any tool, any software, they drop updates if they find bugs, errors. So we don't want to go back and check every time if there was a new version of the tool. So I'm just going to enable automatic updates. So if the government releases a new Vacci-code, a new version of the Vacci-code, my cell phone, when it's connected to the internet, is going to pick it up and it's going to install it, update it for me automatically. So I don't need to go check every time. So yes, please enable automatic updates. Now, the fun part, we're going to add our vaccination. Well, before we pass to this part, I want to see how is everybody feeling? Feeling comfortable with the tool, with the Vacci-code, how to find it? I see Vanessa giving me a thumbs up. Suzanne, Joanne, yes, thank you. Okay, cool. All right, thank you. Okay. So we're gonna add a vaccination proof. So this screen is really follow up this one. So it's just a continuation. And I can add a vaccination proof or do this later, but we're gonna add a vaccination proof now. That means I need to have that PDF document that we were talking about, either in a PDF format on our computers, on a PDF format on our phones, or on the printed, a good quality printed QR code so my phone can read it. So think about it if we have those. If we don't have, well, we'll deal with it. So there are 3 ways, and you can choose any of these ways to upload your QR code, so your vaccination proof, to your device. The easiest way, I'm not gonna lie to you, is scanning the vaccination proof. So if you already have your vaccination proof, either in a PDF, so in a paper printed, or actually I scanned mine a few times just to test it out. I opened the PDF on my computer and I pointed my phone at my computer and I could scan it from my computer. So it works. If you don't have a printer, I encourage you to try it out, to open your PDF on your computer and just point your camera and try it out. It may work depending on the resolution of your computer. On mine, it worked. So the number 1 is the easiest. No fuss, no muss. Number 2, using the self-service portal. So if you don't have your proof of vaccination yet, you can download it. You can use the self-service portal at its name, like the name tells us. So we go and find it ourselves. We can use the self-service portal on our mobile, or we can do these steps on our computer and then point our phone at our computers. And the third option is choosing a QR code image. I'm not gonna lie to you, I tried the third option a few times, more than a few, and I only got it once. So I didn't even include this step in this presentation because I couldn't get it to work more than once. So the choose a QR code image instead, it sounds like it might be easy, but I don't know, maybe it was just me, but I couldn't get it to work. But the first 2, they work. So we're gonna go with the first two. We're gonna go with the first one, which is the easiest one. So so we're gonna put your cell phone, we're gonna point our cell phone camera to the vaccination proof, either printed or on screen if it's a good resolution, but they need to be a good resolution. So if you see here, I put my document behind my phone, and this is my camera. So I pointed in this, it needs to be inside this square. And don't worry, this is not a real QR code. So if you see this QR code throughout my document, and if you try to scan it, it's a fake QR code. I just took it for this presentation. So the camera, this is what it reads. And the QR code needs to be inside this square. It doesn't need to be like very straight. Really, QR codes are very easy to read with our camera phones. So even if we're a little bit tilted, it reads it. It's magical. So this is, we're gonna scan it. So once scanned, if we scan it, once the QR code is recognized, it will ask you for the year of birth as a verification, so 4 digits. So let's say I'm scanning my proof of vaccination. So I'm scanning Monica's document. So here it asks me for my date of birth. But we can also add, like I have my husband also on my phone. So when I'm adding his QR code, I'm not gonna put my my birthday, the year of my birthday. I'm gonna put his. So this is a protection. This is actually basically it's protecting you that if somebody found a QR code lying around and they wanna use it as their own, let's say if they found, I don't know, Vanessa's QR code, they need to know Vanessa's birth. They need to know Vanessa's birthday. So if they don't know that, they cannot upload it on the phone. So I think it's a good way to protect it, and that's why we need to keep our vaccination proof to ourselves, protected. So, but this is the verification. So we're gonna click on these little squares. We're gonna click on the first one, and then the keyboard appears. And then I start typing. So I'm typing my date of birth, which doesn't end in 0, by the way. So we're gonna enter the 4 digits of the birth year of the person you're trying to add. And then if everything was okay, if yes, this is my QR code and this is my year of birth, then the vaccine, this is going to appear. So it's going to appear Monica Escobedo, adequately protected, but very important, even if you see this appearing, very important, don't forget to save this proof. So don't forget to click on this, because if you don't click on this, one of the many times that I was installing and uploading and deleting the vaccination proof, I forgot to save, I think I clicked somewhere else, and then it disappeared, and then I had to start again. So don't forget to save it. And then here we are, congratulations. You have your first vaccination proof. As I said, you can upload more if in your household you're 2 or 4 people, or if you're a caregiver also, that goes to with the person you care for, to appointments. Well, for medical appointment, they won't need, but you know, you go to a medical appointment and then maybe you wanna go grab a bite. You can also upload the vaccination proof of the person you give care for. So, and somewhere I read is up to 10, and then I couldn't find that number again. So, but please check on the Quebec website. I was able to upload at least 3 on my phone. So, sorry, I'm just gonna take a sip of my coffee and I'm gonna see how are we doing. Any questions? Any, you want me to go back? Everything looks, how does it look? How is everybody feeling? Vanessa is feeling good, Suzanne also, Joanne also, okay. Lorraine, yeah, you have a question. You're mute. You're on mute.
There. Okay, I'm on my phone. So I take care of George and myself. When I clicked OK, update the link. All right, so I'm waiting for that. Should I also, will he automatically be in that link, or do I have to find another link for him?
Actually, you might have to find another link. So you might have to find another link for him. It depends on the email address that both of you use when you made your appointment. So for example, my husband and I, we made appointments at the same center, same date, everything, but I put my email address and he put his email address. So we both receive different links. So I don't know if you can remember, Lorraine, when.
Yeah, I remember I did it for George and me, for Billy and me. And it's true, it's in the same email that I received Lorraine Loisel and then George Hale later on in the same email.
Okay.
So I imagine then if I click on it, we'll get both. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah,
okay.
I think if you, I mean, it depends on how the system is built, but I believe if your link has expired, you know, maybe you didn't download yours, but they don't know if maybe you downloaded yours. So you might have to resend the email for both, but also, and we're gonna see this in this presentation, you might be able to do it on your own. Just going through the next step is going through the self-service portal. And you might be able to download it yourself, to download the PDF, because what they're gonna send you is basically a link to the PDF that contains the QR code and all your information, but we are going to do that ourselves on the self-service portal. I will recommend you, because of the size of the phone, and even for me, I did it because of this presentation and I wanted to try it out on my phone, but I will recommend you the self-service portal. You can do it on your computer on a bigger screen. For me, it's a saver for my eyes. So you can do it on the computer and then just click like from your computer to your phone and scan it. So you might be able to do it. But yes, it's if they send you 2 links, you probably need to ask for the renewal of both links. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna go now, and I see like 12 messages on the chat. Okay, so I don't have a cell phone. I have a paper version of my proof of vaccination. It's 8 by 11 letter size paper. Is it possible to shrink the size? Yes. So Sima, very good question. Actually, the first link, I think it only contained the version that is 8 by 11. If you go again to the self-service portal, now they send us 2 links. And I did this last week with a friend because she couldn't get her proof of vaccination. And now they send you 2 links to 2 PDF files. So one PDF file is an 8 by 11, and the other one, well, it's also an 8 by 11, but the QR code is like here on the side. So it's a little that you printed and then you plastify it and you put it in your wallet. So it's like card size. So they send you, I wouldn't, yes, you can shrink it, but I wouldn't recommend it to you because it might lose readability. It might lose, definition. So it might be hard to read if we shrink it ourselves. But you can go through the self-service portal and becomes very tiny, exactly. So the code, the second code is kind of tiny. Imagine it's like the size of my card Melody. But they send it to you, but it's a PDF that they send to you. So they made sure that it's readable and it's really the size is small. So yeah, you can do that. You can go to the self-service portal and download I think they call it the wallet size or something like that. So that's an option. Okay. Once you download your QR code, assuming you don't have a printer, yeah, you must take a screenshot of it. For iPhone, iPad users, hold down the on off button. Ah, that's from Jennifer. Yeah, thank you. And once you hear your camera flash, okay, so those are instructions. I encourage you to read them. Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna see what the questions are they're gonna ask us during the self-service portal. So those are the questions that you need to have the answers on hand. So, okay, so we're gonna go to the self-service portal now. So this was how to scan the proof. And this is the easiest way. If you can go this route, do it. So now we're gonna use this is easy too. It's just a little bit more steps, but it's easy. So we're gonna use the self-service portal. So we're gonna use this option if you don't have your QR code at hand to scan, either printed or in digital format. So, so this was the first, so this is my camera is gonna point at my table or whatever, but we're not gonna use the camera. We're gonna click on Self-Service Vaccination Proof Portal. So this is where we're clicking. And it's gonna bring us to, I don't know if people are taking notes, but we're gonna also send you this document, but please take notes if you need to. So this is the self-service portal. And as you see, it's several screens. So be patient. First, it's gonna tell us electronic proof of vaccination. This form allows you to blah, blah. We're gonna scroll up. So this is the hand gesture I'm trying to do here. We're gonna just scroll up our window until we get to these questions. So it's 4 parts. I copy pasted this twice because there is more to it. So they're gonna ask us whatever you see with the red asterisk. It's a request, like you need to fill that field. So the last name, of course, your first name, and this is, remember, is your last name as your first name as it is in your Maladi card, Medicare card, because the last name that I usually use for work is one, and on my card, it's a longer one. So just remember, have your Medicare card in hand when you're filling this. So last name, first name, date of birth, postal code, and health insurance number. So that's why you need your Medicare card in hand, your gender. This is all standard information. But then there is like these little questions that you really need to read carefully. So the first question on the first section that it appears here, it says, I confirm that I do not have a Quebec health insurance number. So don't check that box, because unless you really don't have a Quebec health insurance number. So if you do have a Quebec health insurance number, please put it here. And then after your gender, male or female, please don't check this box, because this box is for people that don't have a Medicare card. So be careful with those. Like myself, when I see those boxes, I just, yeah, check. And in this case, it's like, no check. Then question number 2, and these don't have the red star, but I did fill them anyway. So I don't know. So unknown mother, if you don't know the name, but it asks you for your mother's maiden name and your mother's first name. Then the box unknown father. So it's either you check the box or you fill in the fields. Unknown father, or you put your father's last name and the first name. And then the third section, and this one, you need to give this information. It has the red star. First vaccine date against COVID-19. So the first one, they know you got the 2 shots. Well, they don't know, they're gonna know, but they're asking you for the first date of the vaccine. So when you click on this one, a calendar is going to appear. I will suggest, yes, you can use the calendar. If you use the calendar, just make sure you click first on the year and you go back, because of course the year is going to be 2021. So I assume you are older than that. So then please go back to choose the year first, because I made a mistake and I choose like my month and my date of birth and not the year. And it automatically feels like, you know, my date like is if I was born this year. So, or you can also enter, you know, first the year, then the month, then the day. You can also enter it on with the numbers. And then which vaccine did you take? So it's a drop-down menu. So you're gonna click, and I'm not in annotate. Okay. So you're gonna click on this little button at the edge, and it's gonna give you the list of vaccines. So you choose which vaccine you take, you took. And then this one, I confirm that I have recognized exemption from COVID-19 vaccination. So this one, if you already, if you were vaccinated, please don't check this box. So this is for people that they have an exemption, and this exemption needs to come from the healthcare system. You know, I cannot just say, oh, I am exempt. No. So please do not, this is another one of those things that we don't check. And then on the fourth one, this one we check. Verify that I certify that the information I enter on this form is complete and is accurate and all of that. So number 4, check, please. And then we keep scrolling. So we're still scrolling. And at the end it says, well, there is something here you can read on your vaccination, and it says, please confirm you're not a robot. So it's also going to be like a little box like this, and please check it in, because yes, we are confirming we're not a robot, we're a real person. I really want my proof of vaccination. And then we click on submit. And now it's going to bring us to this window, which looks very similar to the other window. So we're going to scroll up here, and here it says proof of vaccination for, and it shows my full name, but I covered. So open your proof of vaccination in the VaxiCode. So if you're doing this on your phone, remember we installed the VaxiCode and then we chose the second option. So we want the service portal to send automatically our proof of vaccination to my VaxiCode app. So we're gonna click on this one. When I click on this one, immediately I'm gonna see this window. And if you see, the only difference from scanning on paper or using this is that in this time, it didn't ask me to save, because the system talk to each other and they save automatically. So there is no button to save in this section. So don't worry, you're good. When you need to save it is if you use the first one when you scan. So this one, the system automatically recognizes, yeah, this is good, and stores it for me automatically. If you see here, if you keep scrolling, if you don't connect automatically to your VaxiCode, you can keep scrolling and you can download your proof of vaccination in letter format. And it's too bad I don't have the other screen, but just down below that one, there is another blue box. And that's when you can download your proof of vaccination in a card format. So the big one and the little one. So you can also download them here. And you can also do this on your computer, on a bigger screen. So this is the second one, and these are the two methods I'm going to show you, because as I said, the third method I tried it many times and I only got it to work once. So yeah, Okay, so yes, you can. We can add another person vaccination app. So if you click the plus sign on top, we go again. So basically, you can choose any of the two routes that we did. So here I chose the easiest one. I just scanned the code. It asked me for the year of that my husband was born. And then it says, okay, it shows mine, which is already there. It shows my husband's, and don't forget to save this proof. And now I have two proofs on my phone. So this one is basically when you choose another person, basically you go through the same that we went before, either number one, like either, the first option or the second option. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to ask everybody, how are they doing? Any questions, any screen that you want to go back, or we go forward? Are we good? Okay, perfect. So as I said, I read somewhere, it's more than two, for sure it's more than two, because I was able to upload 3 on my phone. I read somewhere it was 10, but now I cannot find it. So please don't quote me on that, although this is on record. But for sure it's more than 2. So, and I mean, it makes sense, you know, if you're gonna go out with your family, and everybody older than 13 needs to show the vaccination proof. So it just makes sense, you know, that you can upload more than 2. So we're almost at the end, actually. Very important, and this again is from the government site. Protect your vaccination information. Keep your proof of vaccination to yourself, including the unique link you receive by email or text message. This is the link that we've been talking about, the link that expires. So keep it to yourself, and do not share a photo of your proof of vaccination on social media. So, and of course, don't show it in any presentation. So that's why all the QR codes that you see in this presentation are fake ones, are just for the purpose of this presentation, to show you what a QR code looks like. So please keep it. And to that point, I'm gonna say the 8x11 proof of vaccination, which is not this one, but the one that has my QR code here, it has, actually I have it here. It has more information. Okay, so we're gonna go back to that. But so this is the proof of vaccination. So as you can see, it's a PDF document received either by email, text message, or by mail if requested with the phone number. We can request the phone number that Vanessa put on the chat. So as you see here, it has more than the QR code. It says on top, of course, Quebec, proof of vaccination against COVID-19. This again is not an actual QR code. It has my name. It has my date of birth, which is not this one. And it has the list of vaccines. So this one contains a little bit more information that we might not want to be maybe forgetting around in restaurants or events. So, and really the people that we are showing this proof of vaccination at restaurants, they don't even need this information. So if you're not able to download the card size, I will even encourage you to cut this sheet in half. Okay, this QR code is blowout. It's like, it's not this big on the paper. So you can cut this information because they don't need this. So you can cut this in half and have the QR code on your, that's another thing. On the website, I read that they do not recommend you to fold the QR code. So, you know, how this paper I folded like in 6 parts. So the QR code will be here and if it's here, it will be folded. They do not recommend that. They do not recommend that you fold the QR code. But because this contains more information than the QR code, I will advise you to either cut this sheet or just like blur it out, like put, I don't know, Sharpie or something on it, something like that. Because one thing that is very important is to protect your vaccination. So here we are. Any other questions? And I'm going to stop sharing because I want to see you all, but we can go back and forth to this. And I'm going to go to gallery view. Yeah, let's open the floor. Any questions?
I actually have a question.
Yes.
When you were showing the piece of paper that has your QR code with your personal information, and you said, you know, you can cut this information off. If you've cut your name off of that piece of paper, I assume I don't know, because if you're showing ID to make sure that it matches the QR code, you're fine. They're not going to give you a hard time because your name is not on the QR code.
Okay, so it depends. That's a very good question. Yeah, because you're gonna present the paper. So in that case, you're right. You might, well, although
Your name,
okay,
I mean, I think your name would come
yeah,
up with the QR code.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly. So you're gonna present the paper, but not because you have a paper. They're gonna say, oh yeah, Monica, you have a paper and a QR code. Yeah, please come on in. Let me sit you. They're gonna scan this paper. So basically, they're gonna take the VaxiCode Verif and scan the QR code that you're presenting in the paper. And actually, I think that the card size, I didn't print my card, but I print the card size for another friend. It doesn't, I think it doesn't have the name, which I was like, but if you lose your card, you know, anybody can use it. But the thing is that the person is gonna scan the QR code, however you present it, and then they're gonna see your name.
Your information, okay.
And that's why, and actually I'm gonna show you one more screen. So this is what they're gonna see when they're gonna scan your information. This is what they're gonna see with the VaxiCode. So you present a QR code and they say, certifié par le gouvernement du Québec, Monica, my full name. So that's why they ask you for an ID with picture.
Okay, so your name does come up on the QR.
Exactly.
Okay.
So because not because you show the paper, they're just gonna let you in automatically. They need to scan it. So and that's why it's the government is saying, you know, some of the questions, many of the questions were, well, I don't want them to have my information. This is the only information they have. They have that you are protected and this is your name. That's it. So they might get your name from your credit card anyway. When you pay, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why, and I believe the card size PDF does not contain your name. It's only a QR code, but I'm not sure. I will need to go back and revisit that because I'm not sure, but it might not have your name. So even if you present your paper, they're gonna scan it, they're gonna see your name, and they're gonna ask for a valid ID. Yeah. So I'm gonna stop sharing. Yes, any other questions?
There's actually a really good one in the chat. When I open my icon of proof of message, I get this app is no longer compatible. Contact developers. What should I do?
I will be curious of what version is it, an iPhone or an Android, and what version? Because I heard yesterday somebody that had an iPhone that had an older iOS, like the operating system on the iPhone was older than, I don't know, because I'm not an iPhone user, but
Yeah, if you
Because-
don't update them regularly, they're not compatible necessarily
Yeah,
with the
so I
newer
will be
apps.
curious about that. An Android Samsung 5. So you know what? I'm gonna take these. I don't know. I have an Android. I have a Samsung 9, and it worked on mine. So 9 is not the latest by any means, but I do get automatic updates of my operating system on my Samsung. So I'm gonna check that, and I'm sure we can send this question that is on the website in Quebec. They say, please send us question. Does not always work on all their phones.
Yeah, it
Yes,
might be, maybe
yeah.
Suzanne, if there's a way for you to check if you need to update your operating system on your phone, it might be that.
It might be that, or it might be, I mean, yeah, upgrading your operating system might come with certain challenges and some other things might stop working. So I wouldn't want you to lose any information, but yes. But another way that you can show it, you can download, you know, the self-service portal that we went through, and that when you go through the self-service portal on your phone, it shows you 3 options. So the first option is connect that to the Vaxi app. That's the option we took. But then if we keep scrolling up, it says download the PDF on your phone, or download the PDF on the card size on your phone. So you can download any of those on your phone and just open the PDF from your phone. You don't have to show them the Vaxi app. One of the second option was, one option is bring the paper and show them the paper, they will scan it, show them the PDF on your phone. And the third option is show them the QR code with the Vaxi code app. So you have some options. Yes, upgrading your operating system, that might, I don't know how, I think mine does it automatically. So I don't know how challenging that
Usually,
is on a
again,
Samsung
I have
5.
an iPhone, so I might not be helpful. It's in settings and it's pretty straightforward, but if you're not sure, the other thing I've heard from people, they've had real success in going to the major vaccination centers, not the pharmacy, not the little pop-up clinics, but if you do live near one of the bigger vaccination centers, they're really helpful apparently at helping you, find your QR code. They can print you a paper right away, so at least you have that. And apparently a lot of them have been helpful in helping people manage this kind of thing too.
Yeah, but that's a great question. And hopefully you can, I mean, there are workarounds. Hopefully you get to use the Vaxi code app, but if not, print paper or download the PDF directly on your phone and show that. It works as well, really. Any other, I don't know, I didn't read, do you have the yellow Vaxi code app?
Jennifer's just giving some good suggestions on what the major centers are where they would have some of this
Okay,
technical support
perfect.
possibly in place. So thank you for that, Jennifer.
Yeah, thank you.
I know that out near me, I'm in Montérégie West, in Vaudreuil. It's the big sports center. They have a ton of people there to help, and usually the lineups are not very bad. So, and if it turns out to be an issue with your phone, you could always go to, I'm an Apple user, so I know people who've gone to the Apple store and the Apple guys will help them download. If, for example, your provider is Bell and they have the Bell phone centers, you could maybe ask them.
Call Google, ask what you need. Yeah, just type it on Google. But on the Quebec website, they have a section, like you can ask them questions. So maybe they do have these, compatibilities. Maybe they know if the Vaxi code, actually, maybe it shows the Vaxi code if I open, because sometimes when you open the app, and that's another thing, when you open your app, you can go into settings, and there is frequently asked questions, privacy policies, check for updates. So you can also ask questions, or there is a technical support. Actually, there is a technical support. I'm just gonna, so I opened the Vaxi code. This is why I took screenshots, because I did not want to do this live. Here here I go. We're gonna do this live. I'm just gonna put down my glare. So I open, I click on the vaccine code, which is here. I'm gonna click on it. This is my proof of vaccination. You can also add and remove proof of vaccination, by the way. And at the end, at the bottom, it says settings there, the little wheel there, the little circle. If somebody can spotlight me, the host, Katia. So I went to settings, I click on settings. Thank you, Katia. So this is the settings, their settings. And so here, VaxiCode, this is the version of the VaxiCode, frequently asked questions, privacy policy, and check for updates, just in case you didn't do the allow updates to automatically. So I went to frequently asked questions. So I click on that, and then this page opens, and at the top it says technical support 1877. Anyway, I'm gonna put that on the chat. And then, there are some of the regular questions. How do you get the proof of vaccination? We went through that, the service portal. You can, you can call the number if the self-service portal does not work for you. How is the protection status green, red determined? So why is the protection determination hidden? I don't know what they mean for that question, but is my data protected? This is what I read, yes. When you say proof of vaccination in VaxiCode, it is stored there in an encrypted manner. So anyway, you can read the frequently asked questions, and the technical support number. I'm gonna
just put it in there.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, above. Okay, 644. Yeah, 4545. Yeah.
Just to let anyone know who has an Apple phone, it's exactly the same. The settings button is exactly in the same place. The phone number is also at the top. So it's great that they made the app the same for any user. Yeah. Suzanne, you say that you do have the yellow icon and it works because you used it. Do you mean it works now or it worked before you got the error message? I think she might be typing rather than speaking, which if you're in a noisy place, makes sense. I often have my dogs barking.
Okay. You hear me? Do you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
The thing is, I did use my icon last weekend to go to a restaurant, but when I open it, I get this message anyways. I mean, it's still usable, but I still get that message. I wonder if eventually it will not let me use it.
Ah, that's funny. That's something that I didn't read. I think as long as you can show the QR code and they can scan it, they will let you use it. The problem is, as you said, if at some point you try to click, because okay, now you have now I have my proof of vaccination, but how do I show it? So I need to click on it. And then there it is, my QR code. This is the one that they're going to scan.
Yes.
And exactly. So as long as they can scan that, now what I'm wondering is if at some point when you click on it, nothing will happen, then at that point you might have a problem. So basically, to gain entrance, you need a QR code that they can scan in any format. To be honest, my husband and I, we haven't traveled for a long time, so we took a road trip at the beginning of September, just as the passport was like rolling out, and we both had our VaxiCode on both phones, but we both brought like the printed paper, because, you know, what if your phone, what if you run out of battery, you know? And then what happens? You know, what if your phone drops in the water and you cannot open it? So we were like super cautious. So we brought both proof of vaccination on both phones, plus a printed paper, just in case, because we wanted to make sure that we could eat. We were, you know, away from home. We were not far, but still 2.5 hour ride from from home. So we were extra cautious, and we got the printed and the VaxiCode app. So yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions?
Anyone else have anything they want to put in chat or unmute themselves? Maybe someone's trying to talk now. Unmute themselves and
Yeah.
ask a question. Okay, well, I think.
Yeah, actually, I'm just gonna show, okay, present. Okay, so these are, I was prepared with more screens because I said, what if they ask me? So this is, you know, how, okay, let's see. So this is my QR code. These are the sites of Quebec, and I put their QR codes. So with your camera, with your phone camera, you can point at them and they will take you to their sites. So because we were talking about QR codes, I thought it might be fun to just put the QR codes there. So actually, if you point your phone camera to any of these three, it should work. Just your phone camera. You don't need the VaxiCode for this. So the phone cameras read these. That might be also depending on the version of the phone. So if you point that, it will take you to the site. So for example, it will take you to the SelfService Portal, and you can download your proof of vaccination right away. The site contains a lot of information. All the information that I use, it's on these three sites, Quebec sites. Your proof of vaccination, I showed to you already. How do I find my QR code? How do I show my QR code with VaxiCode? You click and you click on where you see your name, and you need to show this. This is what they need to scan. What information can someone see? I already show you this one. So, and where is the VaxiCode on my phone? So you install the VaxiCode, and then you look at your phone like, but where is it? So you, on my Android, you scroll on your home page, you scroll up, and all the apps, many apps are there, but you have a Finder search at the top. And here you start type VaxiCode. Before you type VaxiCode, these two icons appear. So you can click on one of them, and then you can, I drag and drop this one to my main screen. So I always have it handy. So when I open my phone, I know always where it is. So it's not buried between all the other apps that I use less. So these are the apps that I use the most on my phone. So this is where the VaxiCode is. That's it. All screenshots were taken for this presentation for demonstration purpose only. And
I can just say quickly for the Apple phone, if you can't find yours on your Apple phone, it's very similar. You unlock your phone. I'll show you all my insane amount of apps. And you scroll all the way to your right.
yeah,
And then your last screen is your app library. You might see it there, but there's also a search bar at the top, and you can just go from there. Very similar, just the location of your app library is scrolling to your right instead of scrolling up.
yeah.
Okay. Anybody
Yeah.
have any last
Yeah.
minute?
Yeah, Lorraine.
So yesterday I was sitting in front of Metro Store with this guy who had a dirty dog next to him, and he was petting it, and we started talking, and he said, Yeah, okay. I have my code. I have it all printed out. And he pulled this thing up, laminated, cute little thing with the whole, Quebec address thing, not his name, but I thought, wow, I want to get that. So I
Yeah.
think that it's nice to have it on the phone, but to have it, he pulled that out nice and shiny. I almost expected the dog to go, yeah, rah, rah, rah. That is really cool. And I said, yes, that's what I want to get. So I looked
Yes.
online, and you can buy these little packages of laminated, I don't know what you call them, self-sealing laminated pouches.
Mhm.
So you print your thing out, maybe a couple of them, and carry it around in your pocket. I
Yep.
mean, that is simple. And like you
Yeah.
say, Momo, you don't have to worry about the battery dying, and you don't have to worry about the app popping up or anything like that. Simplicity is the best.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And if you can have both, if you can have a backup, for me, I'm the
Yeah, exactly.
I need
Yeah.
to have
Excuse
more
me.
than one option if possible, whenever possible. But yeah, I want to print. I'm gonna download, because whenever I downloaded mine, it was the big paper. I think the laminated, the pocket version, they came up with that after. But now the self-service portal, as I show you, you scroll, you move your window all the way up, and yes, you can download it in the big format or the little format. And I think I'm gonna print also the little format. I'm gonna get it laminated, because I also wanna have it in my wallet just in case, as you said, Lorraine, something happens with the phone, or run out of battery, something. So yeah.
Also, Momo, Billy, he doesn't believe in phones, right? He goes out, and I did print out his thing. This is way back when. It ended up being this gigantic square. But yeah, he did fold it. I go, Billy, don't fold it. But anyway, so that's what he ended up doing. And yeah, so I said, no, we've got to shrink it. And I have this little Popo printer. I don't know if you've seen it, but I take a picture of someone, and I go smile, and then it's this little printer going, yeah, and it comes out with this like credit card size picture, this with the shiny paper. It's really cool. And I feel like going, I feel like going to people. I go, would you like a picture, a real life picture of your code, and then take a picture of it like you do, and then have it shoot up just there, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Although now that you said shiny paper, I don't know. Does it work in shiny paper? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, I'm into photography, and I have this printer that uses a thick, shiny paper, and when it prints it out, it's like exquisite quality of anything. And then I will frame the picture and put it on the wall. Maybe I can do my Popo. Maybe I can do my QR code on the wall. But yeah, so I think that it does work. I think it does. If it works for the laminated, which is shiny.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, laminated shining. Also, screens are shining, and I scan mine from my computer screen. So yeah, it might work. Yeah.
Plus, the guy with the little dog, he ended up being he served in the Army for 30 years and now works for the UN. So I think I can pretty well vouch for him, even though his dog needed grooming, that he knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that, Lorraine. And it's very true that the card size is very practical. And so just go to the service portal. I will advise you against shrinking it yourself. It might work. Who knows? It might work. But just go to the self-service portal, download download both. And print both. Have one at home and carry the pocket size in your wallet. Yeah.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you, Lorraine. So nice to see you.
While listening, I went on Amazon because I'm good at shopping on Amazon, and I popped a little link into the chat. It's about $12 for 3 plastic covers for proof of vaccinations. It says it's in the US, so the size might not be perfect, but it's probably something at least protective that you can put yours in and carry around, which is really the point.
Exactly. I think my friend was going to get hers laminated. maybe Bureau and Grow laminates for like $1.25 or $2. I don't know. So Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I'm sure they would. Exactly. I think it would be great. So I'm just reading.
Okay, please know that if you choose to include someone else's call on your phone, if they go out without you, yes, they will still, of course, yeah, providing, of course, that they are cognitively sound and be able to present. Exactly. So yes, you include somebody for whenever you are with them, but whenever they go out without you, they will need it. Although they will need it for non-essential services, but yes, they need to have their own. So if it's someone that you care for, maybe suggesting the self-service portal that somebody can print, download, and print the card version. Yeah, that's a really good point. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah. Any other great points in the chat? I don't want to miss anything. I don't know. I think, yeah.
Okay,
Over to you,
thank you
Vanessa.
so much, everybody, for joining us. Thank you to our amazing presenter, Monica Momo, who, yeah, I think did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
If you have any feedback you want us to consider, we did put this together rather quickly, as I said, because this was launched quite quickly. And we're talking about doing it again for other people. So if you know anyone you think would benefit, have them follow the Seniors Action Quebec website, Facebook page. I can't spell. I'm trying to put the website in for you. And we'll update everything on there so that you can see, because what we saw in a couple of days, as I said, was that there is a bit of a need. Some people weren't entirely sure, or they understood part of it and then the rest of it wasn't clear. As I said, I literally did what Monica said, is I put it on my computer and I just took a picture with my phone because I was like, I'm not going to wait. I'm downloading it and trying to find it. And no, never mind. I'm going to do the cheat way and just take a picture of what's on the screen. So spread the word that we're hoping to do these again. If you have any suggestions on other things that we should include or cover more thoroughly, I can put my email, or I'll put my email in here and you can send that along and I'll share it with the team. Other than that, thank you all very much for joining us. It's very appreciated. And any last words before we let everybody go? I want to say thank you again to our partners, Tristana at Engage and Erica at CHSSN, and our awesome presenter.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. And yes, please send us comments. We put this very quickly, so maybe I went through thorough, maybe not thorough enough. So yes, please send us comments and more questions. Thank you.
Great. All right. Well, on that, as I said, I encourage you to get in touch and let us know what you think, or if you have other ideas. Especially digital literacy is something we're really trying to get up and going. You have my email there. Get in touch with us. I wish everybody a wonderful weekend. Thank you all.
Thanks
Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Vanessa.
Tristana.
See you soon.